I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBN, we're exploring a wonderful book. It's called From My Heart and Mind, and it is written by a terrific author. His name is Darin Tadream. It is a moving and romantic story about love, identity, and second chances. At its center is Candace Rickson, a former U.S. beauty who has been deserted, disowned, and disillusioned, searching for a man who loves her for who she truly is, not just her looks. This tale blends drama, romance, and self-discovery into a captivating read that proves true beauty lies within the heart and mind. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him on TV today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing books. The links are below this interview. Darin, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Well, thank you, Logan, and I want to thank Atticus Publishing for this opportunity to speak about my book. It's one of the first times that I've really started publicizing the works that I've done.
Well, we're glad you're here today with us on TV because you've done great work on this book and your other books as well. We'll get into all of that. So it's an honor to have you on the show. Talk to us a little bit about the inspiration to write From My Heart and Mind.
Well, it is really strange. The first kernel of inspiration in this book came from a song I heard back in 1987 performed by a USO performer while I was stationed in Korea. It was a happy little song about a morbidly obese belly dancer who could entertain the crowd, get them to clap, get them to sing along. And she had her goal of being a model for what we now call the plus size clothing industry. And it stuck in my mind. I kind of half forgot it for a long time. And then it would pop up when I was really depressed. This song would pop up. But then that started, it's like, okay, how do I incorporate this kind of image? And then I happened to notice one of the other lady workers in my plant where I worked get constantly pestered by the men because she was very pretty. Mm-hmm. So it turns out I was like, okay, what if a very pretty woman was disillusioned with her beauty and just sick and tired of being approached and pestered by men and all this? Where would I go from there? And that's how I created the main character, Candace Rickson. She is a natural beauty. She would be considered the penultimate of beauty. All her features, genetic features, are within the golden rule. So she is technically perfect in her beauty. And she is the fourth in her family to be this way. All four, her great-grandmother, her grandmother, her mother, and herself were all winners of the fictional beauty pageant, Miss U.S. Beauty. That's the national level. And so you can imagine just how gorgeous this lady is supposed to be.
Exactly.
Now, Candace's life has been controlled by her obsessive compulsive pageant mother. Mm-hmm. Today, we all know dance mom and soccer mom, and they're just driving their kids to be a whole lot better than themselves. Well, that was her mother. And her mother depended on beauty for everything, to try to persuade people, to earning money. She wanted to be a movie star, but when she tried the movie industry, she just didn't have the voice for it. And never got the parts, never got famous, and then was kicked out and shamed by the movie industry. And Candace always blamed that experience of her mother for how hard her mother was on her. It made Candace's life worse because her mother tried to be famous. So here she is. She's always getting hit on by men who use, I'm a director, I'm a talent scout, I'll get you in pictures, I'll get you in magazines, all those promises that men often use as come-ons. She's sick and tired of it. To her, her beauty is a curse, not an asset. At the international level, the Miss World pageant, her mother used a little deceitful trick to try to get her to work harder And when Candace found out, she was very upset. Well, that emotional just showed up in her performance. And when the mother saw an off performance, knew Candace was not going to win the title, Mom left the arena. Mom went back to the hotel, packed her bags, got on a plane, and flew back to the United States of America, abandoning Candace in a foreign country. Needless to say, you can kind of feel what Candace is feeling. But when Candace did make it home with the help of the pageant committee, her mother was abusive. Her mother had snapped mentally. First it was verbally, then it got physical, and she literally pushed Candace back out the front door, slammed it, locked it, and never spoke to Candace again. So here Candace was, out on her own, no place to live, no way to make money. And she had sworn that she would never use the beauty like her mother did. So when she went to do retail work, stocking shelves, all the guys would gather around, keep talking to her, interrupting her. She wouldn't get her work done. She'd get fired. Any job she tried was always the same story. So she was so reduced that she said, okay, I will accept a job as an exotic dancer at a men's entertainment club to make my living and start saving some money so I can go to college and achieve her dream of being a marine ecologist. So here she is, right? One night at the club after her performance, the club manager brought her a business card. It was a local, reputable talent agency, had two guys out in the audience, and they wanted to talk to her. Well, these are movie industries. They're guys, they're men, and they're from the movie industry. I really don't want to talk to these people. But being a professional, being polite, she walked out, talked to them, and very curtly said, I can understand why you're here, but I don't want to hear it. I don't want anything to do with the movie industry. The younger of the two, Todd, wouldn't accept, that quick, curt no for an answer. And he jumped back up and called her by her first name and said, hey, you can make more money being an extra for the movie industry than 10 of these performances that you do. If you take a minor role, it'll pay for the college you need to achieve your dream, at least for a year. The major role would pay for your college education at the most prestigious institute in the world. Well, Candace didn't recognize him, didn't know who he was. How did he know all of this? So in the club, in between performances, in the quiet of the club, between performances, she just lambasted this guy. I mean, she put him down like nobody's business. And then she stormed off, saying, hey, okay, that's it. Well, the book lets the reader know that they were childhood friends. And later on, Candace will remember that fact and get back to realizing it's like, okay, he may be the one that will truly love me for my heart, my mind. He knows me and my intellect, my humor, and so on.
Wonderful.
There's a lot weaved in to the story. Her trying to hide while in college, using a costume to disguise herself, having been given a misspelling of her name by the college administrators. She now had a nom de plume to go with her costume to go to college with nobody really recognizing who she is, who she was. But then again, the college she was going to go to had a performing arts studio, a performing arts school that shared its campus. And Todd's father and uncle, who owned the talent agency, are going to require him to go to the performing arts school and get a degree on the basis of how do you know what excellence looks like if you don't know what good is?
Mm.
Yeah. So now, not only is she going to try to avoid just the average college boy, she also has to avoid Todd.
It's a great twist. It's a great story. Lots of great aspects to it. Lots of unexpected twists and turns, of course. Let me ask you this. It's so visual, the way you tell the story and the way the story reads. Have you envisioned it as a film, perhaps?
Yes, I have, because as part of the story, they are making a movie, and Candace is being invited to audition for the main role. At one point in time, she bumps into the author, Darin Tadream, while outside a movie studio, and he invites her to go in and audition. And he explains how the movie, For My Heart and Mind Only, is follows her life story. He had accidentally created a story that told essentially her life. You know, her mother was a beauty queen. She was a beauty queen. She hated the movie, and all of that Darin had already created.
Yep.
And
Yep.
but she wasn't about to do that.
Yep. Well, I think it'd
Like,
be a terrific film, no doubt. Like I said, between the characters, the settings, the scenes, the drama, the twists and turns, I think it'd be a wonderful and compelling film. Now, you've got a lot of books in front of you, which goes to show how prolific you've become as a writer. Tell us a little bit about those books.
okay, well, For My Heart and Mind, the one we're talking about today, actually turned it out to be a prequel to my debut novel, Can Come True.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if anybody really wants to know more about me, the author, this one is very self-revealing. You always hear the new writers are always told, write what you know, write what you know. Okay, well, I wrote what I knew. Me, where I lived, how I lived, and a dream that I had to reunite with my high school sweetheart.
Mm.
Uh, the, the pen name is actually generated by this story. After I wrote the story, when I decided to try to publish in the self-publishing industry, it's like, okay, I need a pen name. Well, I had created one right here.
Right.
Decided to have the 50th anniversary edition because I celebrate the day I met my high school sweetheart 50 years later.
Wow.
So I released this book 50 years after I had met her, which was the starting incident for the book itself.
Easy.
Over here, I have Chance Upon Will Martin. Um, this one starts with a rather abrupt, incestuous incident that she runs away from her Hollywood home, trying to get her back to her non-custodial mother, who lives in a very antiquated little town in North Carolina. But the true meaning of a family is revealed in Chance Upon Will Martin, because it centers around that family and the expanded family that they have. The family issues in that one were following a Baptist and EMA, the black church that was in the area where I grew up. I'm going to rattle the wrong thing here, and I don't want to offend anybody.
Yep.
AME,
AME Church. Yep.
AME church.
Gotcha.
It was a Baptist, so they were very, very strict about everything in their life. So, For My Heart and Mind and Chance Upon Will Martin are essentially your sweet and innocent kind of books. Can Come True is more contemporary. It has some intimacy there at the end, but it's still euphemistically talked about, not graphic, like my Run the Table acceptances. This one is an explicit erotic. It is, some people call it 2X porn. It's where it's at when they read into it. And this one also gets into the LGBTQI arena, and kind of highlights the difference between those people who declare themselves LGBT and those people who actually suffer from being an I.
Amazing. Well, you've done a great job with that anthology of books you have put forth. The name of the book that we've been focusing on today is called For My Heart and Mind. It is a heartfelt journey through love, self-discovery, and the courage to see beyond appearances. Darin, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you, Logan. Hope to
I,
do it again sometime.
I look forward to hearing more about your works. Your 50-year reunion with your high school sweetheart sounds like a fantastic story. I'd love to hear more about that. So that's something to talk about next time. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford for the Global Book Network. So long for now.